love this part.
Good evening, Mayor and members of council. I've got 7 items this week now. Granted, that's kind of a long list. I'll try to be quick, but we did skip a Monday, so I kind of gathered them up. One of the first ones is El Jardines is moving. No, they're not. What we have found is Ben Senior has been considering opening up another El Jardines in Taos, New Mexico. So we've got that confirmed. Also related to economic development and restaurants is we heard on the street that the city's preventing the Olive Garden from coming in. Again, that's not true. Staff would welcome a sit-down restaurant such as the Olive Garden. We've not been contacted by them regarding any sites. We do periodically talk with the Bain Corporation about Commerce City. ED staff did talk to them while they're in ICSC, but they have not come to us looking for a site yet. Another one that we've heard recently, and this was tied to some of the recent advertisements and the recent legislation that has allowed increased betting up at the gambling towns. And a comment was heard that we're going to have a casino north of the airport. We've not been contacted by any of the property owners north of the airport about wanting to put a desire to have a casino. And from my discussions with the city attorney, a couple other things would have to happen. One, the state would have to allow it in a different location unless it's Indian-owned land. And it also would require a vote of the citizens. There's a charter amendment or charter provision that requires that vote from the citizens. Another one that has come up is Allied Waste wants to expand the landfill to the west side of Tower Road. Staff has not been approached by Allied Waste regarding any plans for expansion onto the west side of Tower Road. And I also wanted to bring up that the original certificate designation was actually issued by the county, and then Allied Waste asked to annex into Commerce City at a later date. Another comment we've had is we lost Vestas. Really not true. That site selection process was not the typical one that we go through. They didn't provide Commerce City the opportunity to present in these sites. What they did is they had a specific site selection criteria, size of property, near rail line. They went through and looked at air photos themselves. They did flyovers of the sites, and then once they found a site that appeared to meet their criteria, they wouldn't talk to that entity. It just happened that Brighton had a site that came online because of RTD-UP discussions didn't develop or use the site. So Brighton actually, they found the site and they wouldn't talk to Brighton. Another item that has come up that was overheard following the joint CAC and council meeting on the comp plan update was the mayor said we're going to take down any homes that are not in compliance with the 2009 code. Really, it's not true. We don't think it's realistic since most of the homes that were built prior to 2009. Additionally, it's illegal. We can't adopt a new code that's going to say we're going to tear down all the homes. What can happen as you get new building codes is that you may have some requirements if you do a specific improvement, but those improvements that you're making have to meet the new code. So that's typical in the new city. And then finally, we're not selling the golf course. That's it.
Thank you very much, sir.
I'll make your top 10 list.
Before we go on to the next one, I just want to make a quick comment on this. It's election time. And so some of the candidates feel that by passing bad information that gives them something to run on. Please, if you're out there listening to this and you hear one of these rumors, this one poor senior was so concerned because she was going to put in a hot water heater and she was afraid we were going to come and just torch her house. Please come to one of us and ask some of these questions. Don't allow and I say some of the candidates, this is not all of the candidates, but don't allow some of the candidates to give you a reason to vote for them. If it sounds stupid, it probably is. And hopefully that's gonna make you pick who you're gonna vote for also, since you're listening to these people tell you these things. Did you have anything else, Mrs.